Here, Planning with Britt, and we're back for another live memory keeping session. I'm going to sit here for a second and see if this live pops up where I can watch on my iPad so that I can answer comments or any of those things that we need to do. And I am having every trouble in the world right now with that. So this is like attempt number 15, and it's just not going that well. So I apologize if you've been trying to get in the live. I don't know what's going on. It's like it scheduled it for a different time, but I didn't actually schedule anything. So there's that. So I'm attempting to pull it up on the iPad so that I can respond to comments if need be. Attempting here. So I'm not sure if anybody can see this at all or not. But when I have the phone overhead, I can't see up there to see if it's, anything's going on. So that's a little bit of a problem. But last time we did this, I was able to watch on, this on my, oh, I could see it now. All right, cool. Now, comments. Okay, so maybe we're live now. Okay, I think we're better. So we're going to talk about memory keeping and trying to get caught up. And so I am in a little bit of a pickle, I guess I could say. My memory keeping stuff and the things that I have started memory keeping and didn't finish and have a list of to complete is a mile long. And so this is going to be a no judgment free zone here. We're not going to be concerned about anything like that, but we are going to do some memory keeping. So I wanted to memory keep here on YouTube Live, like twice a month, every other week or so on Wednesday evenings, mostly to hold myself accountable and some to make it a little more fun that we can get on here and journal together. So if you're in my boat and you've got some journaling, planning, memory keeping, scrapbooking, whatever it is that you do that's crafting creative like this, and you want to spend some time and let's do it together, then we're going to do that. So last time we were here, we did some memory keeping, more junk journaling in here. I left a couple pages blank in the front to make like a 2026 cover page or something. I hadn't made up my mind still what I want that to be. We did do some gluing down of these things here, and I did do a little bit of writing. So that is all that I've added since the last time we were here. I have not edited anything here. My intention is to also memory keep the Wednesday off camera that I'm not memory keeping with you, but I didn't last week. So there is that. So here's what we got going on here. So I have things more junk that I can add in here for sure. I was printing some pictures yesterday for something else and I'm out of photo paper, but I think this year's photos I'm probably going to print differently. I don't feel like, I've been using like Canon photo paper in my printer and printing them at home and like in 2x2 kind of squares and using my paper cutter and cutting them and gluing them wherever I want them to. But I don't think that's going to be the way I'm going to proceed in this 2026 book. I think I'm going to print, I think I'm going to put them in a large, like full sheet template on Canva and print them on clear sticker paper, cut them out with the Silhouette or with the paper cutter. Either one doesn't really make a difference. And I'll put them in here to keep the book down because this little notebook is already going to get chunky by me gluing stuff in. So I think that's my plan for 2026. So we'll see how that works out, but I'm not doing any pictures today. So we may add some more to this here. I haven't made up my mind what we want to add in there, but we're going to put this aside and we're going to go back to doing. So I started in 2025. The years right now in this time of the year, like kind of stick together in my head. I'm like, wait, which year's which? So in 2025, I ended up with too many planners. If you've watched some of my other planner videos, you probably know that. So I had this is the Sterling Ink A5 vertical, and it's the half year. And so the year before, that's what I used. And I filled it up and it got huge and I loved it and everything was wonderful. And then, so that's what I did in the second year. But they came out with the A5 horizontal and it was in the beautiful, this color is the forest green. It's kind of hard to see probably with the light and the clear glittery cover on it. But they came out with a cover that was mulberry colored, and it was in the A5 horizontal. And the horizontal intrigued me so very much that I could not, like, I guess, try it out. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but I couldn't not try it out. So let me turn the volume down on this. On wrong way. Okay, so I couldn't not try it out. So either way, I had to have that. And so to get to that point, I bought both, and then I decided not to use. I mean, I just kind of got into a fatigue. I started like, oh, I'll use this and that. I'll use this for that. So this was going to be for memory keeping, and the other one was going to be for planning. And then I got overwhelmed and just kind of ditched it all and did nothing basically in the first half of 2025. And that's when I jumped into the B6 to scribble for the second half of the year. So what we have to catch up here is memory planning. And so I don't know that I did anything else in the front part of this planner. Okay, I did like a sketch a month kind of thing here for January. I had a plan to do something different for February and a different plan for March that never happened. And at this point, we'll probably not go back and worry about those. But I would like to finish this. So I already have this first week was done. The second week is done. I had laid stickers down for week 3. I started this on week 4. I had time to work. I mean, I was working and had laid a bunch of stickers down, but I didn't have the right color markers with me to do this, but I did have these. So I started there and that's where I stopped. And this has been, I don't even know how long ago that I was working on this. Honestly, I think I was working, last time I worked on this was at Little Craft Fest in April last year in Houston. So, but 2025 was a lot. There was a lot that went on in the first half of the year that caused some stress for us and busyness and, lots of that kind of stuff. So that's where we're at now. So that's kind of where I'm headed. We're going to get to doing some of this here on camera. And then I will, just kind of keep going as we go. So all I did here was just kind of like how I use my daily pages now. Use the marker, use the pen, wrote some stuff down, anything I could think of around these stickers. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a little bit of this, and then we may get into gluing some things down in here if we still have some time. It did take me a long time to get going on the live today because just couldn't seem to get it together. So we're going to do some of that now. And luckily, I have my little Pocket Day Designer from last year, and that's where basically that is what I planned in this until this week. At the end of this week, I ditched the Pocket Day Designer and went to the Wonderland 222. And so I have these 2 planners that have everything. That's where I did my planning basically for 2025 until July. So I have those handy, and we're going to just kind of get going here on that. So there's a few things here to note. This was MLK Day. And these markers match this kit. This kit is Winter Chill from my shop. If you watched a pretty recent plan with me, I use the same kit. This is in the Hobonichi Cousin size, and I think I use like the weekly and the journaling. I don't know what all I used. This Tombow is 755 that I'm using. This Tombow is 553, and this one's 243 if you're wondering. And then I'm using the Sarasa mark on 0.5 in my planner right now. So that was the first thing I wanted to mark, and I'm going to kind of trace around this. I do enjoy doing that, tracing around the marker after I have written. It'd be nice if I slow down and trace nicely. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it looks kind of messy, but that's all right. I also want to note that this was, I'm not going to be able to do it with the big marker here. I'm going to have to do it like long ways. Let's try. I don't usually write that way, but I'm going to make sure we spell this correctly. It was the inauguration last year. I didn't leave enough room. That's right. So I'm going to just mark over this, like through it with the pen, kind of like this. And this pen does not always write over the marker the best, but I think it's because I need to let it dry a little bit. And I'm not being super duper patient today. And that's okay. I didn't even hit the green on that. It's fine. Whatever. We got a few other things to note down for this day. Let's see. I really need this one. I'm going to put Norris here because it was his birthday. And at the moment, I don't remember the age of that birthday. So, and the age really didn't matter. I'm going to trace around this one again too because I like it. So yeah, this was the style I had planned on doing. And then on the daily pages in the back, I was going to do, I guess I could show you my 2023 at some point in time. The 2023, I did a mix of all kinds of things in the back that included pictures and quotes and things. And so that was my plan for back here also. And I hadn't done any of that as well. So there's a lot of that coming. So it looks like we had lab setup going on this day. It's funny that this is like directly about a year ago, and say this is probably about the same stuff I did last week at school too, lab setups and things. Let's see. I'm gonna draw like this around and kind of give it a little something. My markering skills, I'm working too quick, which is part of the problem. I'm not gonna do. Yeah, I am gonna just leave it alone. It's part of the problem of doing this on camera, but it's fine. So lab setup happened. It looks like I did quite a bit of playing with Brit stuff here as well. The sticker shop was in like full bloom at that point. Oh, well, I wasn't going to do it that way. I was going to leave a little break. But since I didn't, we're going to end up tracing the whole thing. That's fine. Not exactly sure what I was thinking I was going to do with that one. I think I was going to try to just leave a shadow. And instead I went around. So we'll work on that. So it looks like that. Not anything really crazy. Let's see what else we were including here. I'm not sure. All right, so we have this here. And that's really about all. I can put some things down here. We did some open orders, it looks like. Looks like I was filming for YouTube. I started my channel on January 10th, 2025, so it was very new to me then. I've gotten better at some of the YouTube part, not better at the YouTube live, apparently. This is my second live, and man, I'm really not that great at it. So let's see if I can see the live chat at the same time. Okay, yeah, I see a live chat, but I don't see any chats. Okay, good deal. What else? What else did we have? That looks like about it. Also looks like I did some list, a kit called Ladies First. And Ladies First is use that care in one of these other weeks. All right, that's good enough for that day. Let's move on to the Tuesday. All right, Tuesday was the 21st. It looks like I did some grading. I teach high school, so I spend a lot of time when I'm at school, off periods, and when the kids are working, and other times grading. That is pretty common. I'm just going to write over this one, I think. So it looks like I've graded. And then we had some playing with Brit time. And it looks like I just worked on some open orders, actually a lot of open orders. This was right after one of those pretty good sized sales. Maybe it wasn't the Wild Collab. It was probably, I don't remember which one it was now, but one of those group sales. It was the one right after, probably Ultimate Planner sale. So I had lots of orders to get finished. Let's see what else. What did we have here? Looks like we had chicken pot pie. And I did make a note that it was a leftover. That means I had made it at another time. And we warmed some up and ate it, which is perfect when I'm busy. And I do try to be mindful about cooking something like on the weekend and things that I can do that with, where we can just warm and go. Just kind of decorate these letters with whatever. Did those little hash marks at the first word, and I don't care for them that much, so I do these little dots on the pie. And I'm going to go straight across this one here. Yeah, doing this on camera may not always be the best because I feel like I need to hurry so we can move on to something different. Okay, that was really even hard to read. Goodness gracious. Oh well, we'll figure that out. It's fine. I don't really see anything else there other than it was cold. It looks like the low temperature that morning was 9 degrees, which is pretty darn cold. All right, so let's go on to Wednesday, 22nd. We'll start with this. I'm going to put wild. Wild Collab orders were done. Nice. And then what else did we have here? I'm going to put PWB again. And it looks like we did some design work. We designed a few things. Looks like I listed a kit. We listed Tea Party and we designed March. All right, and then what else here? Looks like I I'm gonna write my husband's name. Looks like I ran with him. To drop dumpsters. And then I wrote down here early to bed. So I'm gonna write early and then I'll put to bed in ink. All right, and then we'll move on to Thursday. So this is just how I do that process. It was what I started last year and I was like, hey, this is a good way to use this. And I'm a completionist by heart, I guess. I really want things to be complete and all filled in and done. So I am gonna fill this one out and then we'll go into, I may only do this first half this way on the weeklies, and then we'll get started on the dailies. And I may mix it up and do some of each. And so each time we come here, I could be working on something different. I have some 2020. I don't even know. I have a list, honestly. I think it's not too far from here. I have a list of what needs to be done, and I have lots of memory keeping to just keep up with. And yeah, there's a lot of it. So we're going to keep plugging away and trying to see what we can get done. And I may give up on some of it, but as much as I can do, I will do. And I kind of enjoy it. So, all right, Thursday. Let's see. So I'm going to put UPS, which is the Ultimate Planner Sale. Yep, because I put that. I'll put that one there, and I put UPS. I'm going to put orders started, because that's what it looks like there. That got started on those orders. So I must have been finishing up Wild Collab and getting ready to start that one. Those 2 sales ran 2 weekends in a row for me back that year. It was not a good planning session for me to do that without like thinking it through. And boy, did it become a mess. And I was already behind in my shop just trying to get my releases out and designing done. And man, it was a stressful January last year. I do remember that for sure. Okay, so I got those started. It looks like I needed to scan labs. So I teach a dual credit chemistry class at the high school, and their spring semester professor occasionally likes me to scan whatever lab they are completing and send to him. We don't always have to do that. Sometimes he lets them do like a online assessment, but I do all of their labs with them in my classroom. And then they do their lecture portion. They still do it in my room, but they do it kind of semi on their own. I do have to help some, but I do have to scan labs for him semi frequently. So this year, I don't think he's asking for as many as he did last year. So that's kind of helpful. Scan labs. What else did I have in here? And it looks like I did some orders when I got home. So we'll put PWB, which shows up frequently. It's just playing with Britt. It means I was working on shop stuff of some sort. So, yeah. This is what I was trying to do there, and I messed that P up earlier. All right. What else do we want for Thursday? Doesn't really look like I have too much else. I'm going to leave that, and we're going to just move on to Friday. I don't have to fill every day. I do have deco that I can come back in and more boxes and stuff I can dump in here and fill in. All right. Looks like Friday was pretty much playing with Britt all day, which is typically the case for Fridays. I don't work on Fridays typically. My school is a 4-day school district, so I don't teach on Friday normally. And so then that was when I would take a lot of time to do shop work. So I really need to let this mile liner dry a little more before I'm tracing up against it. It doesn't like the ink when it's wet. So how do you do your memory keeping? Do you have a certain way that you're doing it? Is there a certain style? Are you doing something similar to this? Are you junk journaling like I am this year in this little tiny one? And I think having all of this to do is what made me decide to go the tiny one this year, because I feel like I could keep up with that better because it's little versus the big one. Yeah, that's really all it looks like I did. I have nothing else written down for that day, but so we're going to write in this one and we're going to say orders all day. Orders all day. And we'll leave that one alone and move on. Now we'll move to Saturday. And for Saturday, what do we got? We've got, what did I write here? I gave more of a list. Okay, so I did do a little playing with Britt here. And then looks like I moved the March items back into the shop. And then I washed my hair. Seems insignificant to Mark, but if you have curly hair and you have to go through a wash day, you know what I'm talking about. It is significant enough to Mark. I'll tell you, I really need to give this some more dry time. All right, so move March, wash hair, and then I'm gonna just write Dumas here. So Dumas is where my parents reside. It's like 3 hours north of me, and we headed there for a birthday party. So we had dinner at the 287. It's the name of the highway we go in on, but there's a steakhouse called the 287. We had dinner there, and we celebrated the birthday of my stepdad from over here. This same event was supposed to take place this past weekend, but due to our lovely winter storm, it didn't. So it's been rescheduled to the coming weekend, hopefully, if all goes well. I do want to write on this one for some reason. Look how much better that writes once it's dry. Oh, a little bit there, but nice. Much, much better. Okay. That Sunday, we had, I remember. I'm going to write the smaller, and we had La Campana, which is one of my favorite places to eat in Amarillo. Amarillo's where I'm originally from, and I don't live there anymore, but we go through there going to Dumas. So we had La Campana breakfast. We got home, we took a nap. And then I did some more playing with Britt. And then down here in blue, we'll write weekly reset, because that also happens on Sunday afternoons. You know, laundry, meal prep, buying some food, getting kind of stuff ready to go for the following week. So I like what we have here. I'm going to grab this deco and kind of throw some deco down here on the sidebar and around where there's some blank spots. And we'll call this a complete week. And then we'll move into maybe finishing up the remainder of the week we didn't finish before on here. Blanket. Can definitely do some chocolate here. And then I think down here at the bottom, I'm just going to use this little snowman box because it's super cute. All right, so we'll call this one completed, and we'll move into this one here and finish up where we were. So I can put this little book away because it's done after that little section there. And then after the 20th, I jumped into this Wonderland 222. And this was my everyday carry, and it was in my purse. And so I had it, pretty much with me at all times. So let's hope that we did the week of the 20th in here, or the 27th. I did. I was hoping that was the case. All right, I'm going to clip that down so I can see what I'm looking at. So we got through here, partially through here, and then we'll move on. I need to find the different markers though. So we're going to swap these out. A little pencil bag is hiding out over here. All right. I think these are the ones that I used. Definitely not that blue. Maybe this one. And then there was this other purple. I'm not really sure which ones we were using in here, but I know they were in the pouch, so they're the right ones. I'm just not really sure which ones they were. I'm not sure it was this one. Let's grab a sticky note handy. Let's check in the paper here. Let's mark so we can take a peek. I don't think that is one of them. I feel like this is. I'm pretty sure this is the light purple one we were seeing a while ago. And then this one. Yeah, we're going to use these three here, and I'm going to put this one away. Okay. We'll toss that aside and get to filling in some more here. So it looks like we stopped with some playing with Britt here. And I also here need to put I removed my polish that night. I would say most of the time I keep my nails polished with Dazzle Dry nail polish. I haven't done very great here as of late, but normally I do. Okay, so looks like I had a doctor's appointment this morning. So we're going to write Felton and let's do this one. I'm going to write errands because while I was in Lubbock, so I live close to Lubbock, Texas. If you're familiar with Texas Tech, I live about 45 miles southeast of there in a small town. So I have to go here to see the doctor and do those kind of things. So what did I do? Went to Chick-fil-A. Of course, it's like a requirement when I go to town. I did an Amazon return. And Sprouts. Went to the Cairo. Stopped at HEB. And of course, we hit Starbucks before I left town. Pretty much my normal run when I'm there. Not always Sprouts, but Starbucks, HEB, the chiropractor, and Chick-fil-A almost every time I'm in town. So no doubt there. Oh, also stopped at Drug Emporium. On the hunt for Alani's, I'm sure. That's usually the only time I run to Drug Emporium is looking for Alani. So at lunchtime, we had a baby shower. For one of our coaches at school. His wife was having a baby. And then I'm going to say Thursday reset because I do a little routine at school to reset for the next week to get myself all geared up and done and ready for the next one. And then it looks like I did some playing with Britt that night after I was home. It looked like I was working on some open orders. So, all right. I don't think I want to do anything to any of these letters. I think I'm going to leave them as they are. All right. So for the Friday, I was off. So it looks like we did quite a bit of honestly, just looks like playing with Britt. Most Fridays are probably going to be like this, like, yeah, all day, pretty much that. This kit with these little animals is so cute. I forgot how cute it is. I really do like the colors and the little animals. Super, super cute. Okay. Yep, that's about it. I don't see anything except a list of orders. So we're going to put, there was a PO drop done here, which also pretty commonly happens a couple of times a week and definitely on Friday and Saturday. And then usually another big set on Monday. Well, at this time. Right now the shop is on a hiatus. But before that, we had birria for dinner, which is really one of my, definitely love to eat the birria from DNR, which is a local place here, a local food truck that we get food from that we actually like pretty much a lot. It's a pretty awesome place. And then it looks like we went to our favorite hangout. Okay. Ended our night there. And that would be it. Okay, let's go for Saturday. Looks like, again, pretty much same story, different day. Oh, I already used that one. Let's go to the light purple one. Almost messed my color swapping up here. If I don't move the markers around on the desk like I'm doing, I will mess up and mark them out of order. And that B is terrible. I wonder if we can fix it. I think I made it worse. Oh, well. We can leave this down a ways because that's the majority of what I did. More orders. Lots of orders listed. And it looks like we prepped some hello February stuff. I'm going to put February prep because we did that for the shop. The graphics to say hey for February. Orders. We had another favorite food here. I'm going to write. So I'll write it right here. I hate for the colors to be side by side, but it's going to be that way anyways. We had Thai Thai, which is our favorite Thai place out of Lubbock. My husband probably was working in Lubbock and brought that home. I don't remember for sure, but that's typically if I was here working, and he probably brought that to us. And then, again, same place at the end of the night. we hung out at the White House, which is a good time most of the time. Okay, and Sunday. This looks like I worked on. I'm gonna just write. Looks like I kind of had a me day here. Looks like I worked on my own planner. I think me being so busy with the shop last year also led to my planner crisis because I had so much going on that I couldn't working on the shop. I couldn't even make a decision about what planner to use, and so I kept him hawing around and going back and forth and didn't get it done. And then after a point, you just kind of give up, you know. So we're at weekly reset here because always on Sunday. And I don't have the deco handy to fill this one out right now, so that'll be something we'll do later. I really feel like I need to trace some of these or something. There's a lot of ink on this side of the page and none over here. So let's go back and trace or outline or give some of these a shadow or something. We'll do this just on the big letters for Dr. Felton. One problem of coming back to it later is not being able to be consistent with whatever style you were using because it's been a while. So, okay, let's see. I need to probably let's trace this one. And whatever I was doing here on this page in April is not what I've been doing now. So, and then trying to keep the different supplies together for the different memory keeping projects I have has been also a challenge and a little bit fun. I have been utilizing my little planner totes. In my junk journaling one, I've been using this little Craft Fest one that I got at Little Craft Fest in Houston last year. This little canvas tote. It's got all kinds of little pockets and things. So I have a lot of things in there for my junk journal. This one has been staying with its stickers kind of off to the side. In fact, I do probably know where these stickers are. I just thought about it. I put them away yesterday. I reorganized that shelf and put those away. I'm not sure about outlining that like that, but that's okay. Okay, let's do something over here. Let's trace this me day, I think, and then we can probably call it good. Spread some ink around the marker on this side of the page. That definitely needed to happen. Okay, that's going to be good enough. Yeah, I'm going to grab those stickers and see. It's not very far from my reach. I forgot that I had set those aside and put them in a little album. I think there's stickers here. Oh yeah, there's some things here. Let's see what we got. I don't see a deco sheet though. What do I have? Small little pieces. Okay, that's not what I want for that. Okay, so this is not where those stickers are. There's some other stickers here. Unless, maybe they're in here. Could be. Nope, these look like the February ones. Okay, so scratch that. I don't know where the deco is for this set. And so we will find that later and fill that in. I'm gonna set this aside and deal with it off camera. Okay, so yeah, this one is done, except maybe some more deco. I'd like to put some deco in the sidebar and then just around wherever. And then we have this week here. So we're running about out of the time that I said I would stop today. So I think we will stop at this point and then do this other one another day. But yeah, I thank you for joining me. And next week we could be jumped into something else. I have a huge list. I've got like planner event, memory keeping I need to do from different events I've been to. And I save a lot of little ephemera stuff from there. I have a lot of we've got some 2025. We're trying to keep up with 2026. We've got some 2024 to do. 2022 and 2023. I think I have a ton. We could be here for a while. So if you like this, then give the video a like and a thumbs up. And you can subscribe to my channel so you can see next time I'm going live. And then I post regular YouTube videos. I'm working in my current planner now. So yeah, I'd like to know and hear about your memory keeping journey. Tell me what you're doing, how you're doing it, and then how you're keeping up, because I have gotten behind and I haven't been able to keep up. So, and I'm trying to come up with a workable plan to try to get it done. So, if you have some thoughts for me on how to get this done, then share those below as well. So, thanks again for spending some time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.